Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something pretty much all of us deal with, but maybe don't talk about enough: our gut. We're going to decode some of those weird signals your stomach might be sending you and figure out what's actually happening when things just feel a little off. Let's get right into it.
You know the feeling, right? That weird rumble at the wrong time, that slow burn after a meal, or that bloating that seems to pop up out of nowhere. It's so easy to just brush it off. But you know what? Those are actually important messages from your body. So today, we're going to learn to speak its language. Okay, so before we jump into all the things that can go wrong, let's just take a second to appreciate the star of the show, the stomach itself. Seriously, it's so much more than just a place to hold your food. It's a total powerhouse of digestion. And really, understanding what it's supposed to do is the first step to keeping it happy and healthy.
So, when we say stomach diseases, what are we even talking about? Well, it's a super broad term. It can cover everything from, a little bit of indigestion because you ate that extra slice of pizza, all the way to more serious long-term conditions that definitely need a doctor's help.
Just think of your stomach like this incredible, high-tech food processor. Its whole job is to take everything you eat and, using powerful acids and enzymes, break it all down into a kind of a soup. Why? So your intestines can then easily absorb all the good stuff, all those vital nutrients your body needs to actually run. It's an absolutely critical first step in the whole process.
All right, now that we've got the basics down, let's take a little tour of the most common troublemakers behind stomach discomfort. We're going to break down a few of the usual suspects that you've probably heard of before.
First up is gastritis. It's really just a fancy medical term for when your stomach lining gets inflamed and angry. But what's really interesting here is the list of causes. Sure, it can be from a specific bug, a bacteria called H. pylori, but look at the other things: alcohol, and even stress. It just goes to show how much our daily lives can directly affect the delicate lining of our stomach.
Now, if that inflammation doesn't get sorted out, it can sometimes get worse and lead to peptic ulcers. And these are literally open sores in your stomach lining. As you can imagine, the symptoms get a lot more serious here. We're talking intense pain or even black stool, which is a big warning sign of bleeding. And notice who's back. H. pylori shows up again, right alongside overusing common painkillers like ibuprofen.
And here's a big one that I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with: GERD, which is the main reason for that awful feeling of heartburn. So what's happening? Well, basically, the little valve at the top of your stomach isn't closing tightly enough, and it lets stomach acid splash back up where it doesn't belong. And as you can see, this is one where our lifestyle choices, things like diet and managing our weight, play a massive role in getting it under control.
So we've looked at a couple of different issues, but you might be starting to see some patterns, some overlap. So now let's zoom out a bit and connect the dots. Let's look at the general warning signs and the root causes that pop up again and again across a lot of different stomach problems.
Think of this list as your gut's built-in alarm system. Now, look, any one of these things can happen once in a while. That's normal. But the real red flag is when they stick around. Pain that doesn't go away, heartburn that's becoming your new normal, and especially losing weight when you're not trying to. That's your body basically yelling, "Hey, pay attention to me."
I love this slide because it breaks it down so clearly. Most stomach troubles come from one of two main places. On one side, you've got lifestyle and environmental stuff. Things we have some control over, like our diet, stress, and smoking. And on the other side, you've got invaders, like bacteria and viruses. Knowing which bucket your problem might fall into is so important because it tells you whether simple lifestyle changes might be enough or if you really need a doctor to fight off an infection.
Okay, so you're noticing some of those red flags. What's next? Well, getting a proper diagnosis isn't nearly as intimidating as it might seem. It's actually a pretty logical process. Think of your doctors as detectives, just gathering clues to figure out exactly what's going on inside.
So this is pretty much the standard game plan. It almost always starts with just a conversation, you telling your story. From there, if they need more clues, they might order some lab tests. And if they really need a good look, they can use imaging, like an ultrasound or even an endoscopy. That's where a teeny tiny camera gives them a direct high-def view of what's happening inside your stomach. Each step just builds on the last to create a really clear picture.
And just like we saw two main types of causes, the treatments often come in two parts that work together as a team. You've got the medical stuff, like antibiotics to knock out an infection or things called PPIs, which are really strong acid-reducing medicines. But these almost always work best when you pair them with good home care. Cleaning up your diet, managing stress. That stuff builds the foundation for real long-term gut health.
Okay,
I gotta say, this is my favorite part. We've gone through the problems, the diagnosis, and the treatments. Now, let's talk about the most powerful tool of all, prevention. This is your playbook for actually taking control of your digestive health before problems even start.
Now, don't let how simple this list looks fool you, because when you do these things together, the impact is absolutely huge. It's not about being perfect, right? It's about finding a good balance. It's about being mindful of your stress and how you use certain medicines. And I mean, even something as basic as washing your hands can stop a nasty infection in its tracks. The big takeaway here is that small, consistent habits, they make all the difference in the world.
Okay, let's get really serious for a minute here. While a lot of stomach issues are minor, the symptoms on this slide, these are non-negotiables. If you're experiencing any of these things, especially severe pain that won't quit, any sign of blood, or losing a lot of weight for no reason, you have to seek medical help. Seriously, don't put it off.
And I really want to end on this reassuring note. The whole point of this isn't to scare you, it's to empower you. The truth is, the vast majority of stomach problems are totally manageable. With a little awareness, some healthy lifestyle choices, and getting medical advice when you need it, you can absolutely keep your gut healthy and happy.
So, as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with a question. You don't have to completely change your entire life overnight, but what's one small thing you could do? Maybe it's just drinking an extra glass of water every day, or maybe it's taking a quick 10-minute walk after dinner. What's one small, totally doable step you're going to take for your gut this week? Thanks so much for joining me today.